And welcome, guys, to another episode of the Wrong Side Simulations, bringing you the best content from the wrong side of the airplane, the right seat. And as always, my name is Blake, and I'm a real-world flight dispatcher aiming to bring you a little more realism to your flight sim viewing experience. And today we've got a special one that I am very excited about. Yesterday, I was like, you know what, this pilot life thing, I'm gonna try it out. I think what caught my attention was the analytics of it, for lack of better words. So I kind of went through the process real quick, did a couple flights, and I was very impressed with kind of the experience, but more so the analytics at the end when you submit your flight report, all the things that it scores you on. You know, in the flight sim world, everything evolves around the landing rate. Everybody gets judged on their landing rates, whether it's smooth or planted it, whatever, and that's kind of like what makes a staple for us as sim pilots, right? But this will change the game. This will definitely expose any procedural things that you may forget. And it's a total of 35 different items that you'll be scored on, and I love it. But I'm an airline kind of guy, and obviously everything in the airlines is very procedural, so it's right up my alley. This may not be as big as something that folks in the GA world would like, but I figured, you know what, let's showcase a little bit. Let's go through the whole process together and show y'all what to expect with this new program. So jump in the chat real quick. Jim, what is going on, my buddy? Hopefully work is going well for you. I left this morning around 7 o'clock. Came straight home and started setting up for this thing. We'll be up there before the end of next month. Got an apartment already. Awesome, man. Can't wait to have you up here. It's quite lonely in the OCC after midnight. I'm the only dispatcher in there. Sometimes I have a DSC. Sometimes I have an OM in there with me, but for the most part, I'm by myself. You're going to like it up here, which you already know that. Jay EQ, what's up, buddy? Yo, welcome aboard. Glad to have you here. Hillbilly Gypsy, my boy, what is going on? Hope everybody's having a great Thursday. I've got a haircut at 1 o'clock, so we got to get this thing rolling. So, let's jump straight into this. I think y'all are going to like it. Jay already knows a bit about it. Him and I talked about it for a little bit. turn some of this music down. Alright, so this is the main dashboard of SimBit Worlds, which is the developer, A Pilot's Life Chapter 2. Chapter 2. So the general idea of this obviously is that you live a pilot's life, but what I like about this compared to other programs that are similar is that in the past for most of those programs you had to start on a Cessna 172 or some sort of single engine prop and work your way up to the airliners, and nobody wants to do that. Everybody wants to be able to jump straight into an airliner of some sort and get to work. For the most part, you can do that here. Actually, not even for the most part. You can go straight into airliners. You may not be flying for the company that you want to fly for, but you can jump straight into an airliner. So, when you first start, and I'm already a little bit in this process, I actually sat here for about an hour and kept resetting my career to try to find a decent airliner in the States that flies 737s that I could actually work for to show this off to y'all. So we're a tad ways into the progress, or into the process. But when you first come in, this is what you'll see, and you'll have $5,000 that has been given to you. The money that you make can be spent on aircraft licenses, as well as a few other things, but the biggest part of it all is going to be your aircraft licenses, because the more licenses that you obtain, the more aircraft types that you can fly with this program. So, jumping straight into it, when you come in, you got your $5,000, you would go to shop. It'll load, and you have a few different things. I'm probably going to be a little burpy because I'm drinking energy drink. I did work a 10-hour shift, so I'm fighting to get some energy. Anyways, you got a few different things that you can buy. You got investments in education. All this stuff will help increase either your money or your experience, which does help you either obtain more aircraft licenses, or the experience is going to help you on your resume, because the more XP you have, the more likely you are to get that job that you want. So, with your $5,000, first thing you want to do is you're going to come down to aircraft licenses, and it's going to pull up all of the aircraft that you can purchase. For myself, I wanted to buy the most versatile airplanes that are out there, which is going to be the 737, and I believe, yeah, I did buy the other one as well, the A320 family. So when you purchase these, you get the whole family. You get all the variants. So if we purchase the 320 family, we've got the 318 all the way through the 321 Neo. Sweet. On the 737, same thing. All the way from the 737-200 all the way to the 737-9 Max. But you can purchase based off of whatever airplanes that you have. You can purchase whichever one you want. They're all different prices. The 737 and the 320 are both $2,500 each, which equates to $5,000. Therefore, I went ahead and bought both of them to give myself a little more flexibility in my choices of airlines. But you can choose anything from A220 all the way through a 380, 717 through the 787, ATR, CRJs, DHCs, Embraers, Fokkers, Cessnas. List goes on. Pretty much anything that you could ever want, you can buy it. So you purchase the aircraft licenses that you want. Next, we're going to go to the job market. This is where things get a little more dicey. Just about any airline you can think of, at least majors, and it seems to me like a lot of the regionals are encased into the main line. So, for example, Republic Airlines or Endeavor. I don't think Endeavor's. Let's see. Nope, Endeavor's on there by themselves. But yeah, most airlines that you would ever want to fly for. Oh, look at that, Republic's on there. Yeah, so pretty much any airline that you could ever want to fly is offered on here. Now, when you first start, you're going to have 5 automatically offered jobs to you, which are going to be at lower end carriers, many of which you've probably never heard of. Most of them are probably not going to be in the same part of the world that you typically fly in or want to fly in. I primarily fly in the States, and it took forever for me to find one that I could fly in the States. So you got your 5 automatic offers down here, but you can also, if you want, go ahead and submit up to 5 job applications at companies of your choice. You can filter through your companies based off of region. So say if I want to do the States, we'll get rid of everybody but North America. And then you got your airline rating, which is 1 to 5 stars. Being at this point in my career, since I have no flight time in my career, more than likely I would want to apply at 1-star companies. Now next, you got your aircraft license available, so this will filter out anybody that doesn't fly the aircraft that I own, or the licenses that I own, and then also jobs available, because not all airlines are hiring. As you can see here, like Valeris, Costa Rica, they're full. They got 9 out of 9 pilots. Who else? This dude. I can't even say that word, but they have no pilots. Sucks for them. Who are these folks? Ameristar Jet Charter. No jobs with them. So you do want to filter out ones that have jobs available. Once you find one that you're interested in, like Kalita Air would be kind of cool. You would hit the little plus sign. It will drop your job application into the bottom down here. I guess we could probably do that, even though we're going to take a job with one of the auto guys. Yeah, we'll say we're going to apply for Kalita Air and also Aloha Air Cargo, which is actually who I did my first 2 little flights with that I thoroughly enjoyed. But I did reset the career so that I could show y'all this stuff. Now I kind of wish I didn't, because I could use that flight time. So we've applied. Our status is pending on those 2 job applications. Tells you the date in which you applied. Here's the crazy part. A lot of this stuff is real world time, and it's not like it doesn't happen super fast. I was reading through the manual, and it can take up to 2 to 3 days. I think it says like your application is reviewed every Monday, which doesn't make sense because I applied yesterday on Wednesday, and my stuff was rejected by this morning. But it does take some time for the servers. Now the servers do go through your job application. It'll go through your resume, which we'll look at in just a minute. I probably won't have anything on it. But your experience and your rating as a pilot, because how hard you land the airplane and how much you mess up or don't mess up on the procedural things that this thing checks for, will affect your pilot rating. And the better pilot rating you have, the better your resume looks, and it's going to compare your resume to whatever airline you're applying for. And if you're applying for like Delta Airlines, which is a 5-star airline, then it's going to look at your realistic chances. And then also, this is actually pretty cool. The other thing that it does is it also throws in luck. So for the most part, most people who want to apply for a job without any flight time or low flight time probably won't get the job. But there is also the luck that's thrown in there, and you could get it. I find that pretty cool. But it does analyze your chances on a pretty realistic basis, and you may or may not get that job. I'm also going to apply here for Commute Air. That one might be likely. So, if you wanted to try to go with one of these and none of these guys, you might have to wait literally a couple of days before you can actually find out if you even get the job, and if you do get it, then go flying. Which kind of sucks. I do wish there was a way to expedite that, maybe, because you got folks like me who I don't want to wait around. I want to apply, get a job, and then go fly with this thing. But you can't. So, quickly we'll go over to logbook, and it's empty. If we go back to the dashboard, see if it says anything under the resume. Resume, obviously I have nothing there because I haven't done any flights yet. Tells you your name, what country you're in, and your current rank, which is a big part of it. And your XP, and it's kind of like Call of Duty. Like the more kills you get and points you get, the more you'll rank up. So 0 to 2,000 is a junior first officer, and then once we get above 2,000 points, become a first officer. I have seen quite a few junior first officers flying around, and like Frontier and airlines of that caliber, so you may not have to get just a buku ton of flying in before you can go fly an airline of your choice. We've also got contract, which we'll see here in a minute when I sign one. We've got some achievements, inventory. I honestly don't even know what this is. Probably licenses. Nope. That's other stuff that you buy in the shop, which is the investment type stuff, your education or yeah, investment or education. Then you got your photo album. These are a couple of flights that or pictures that I uploaded from my first couple of flights. It's kind of cool. You can have a photo album, but yeah, you also have that in Volanta too, so whatever. So for the most part, that's the initial beginnings of this. You also have a community tab. It's pretty cool. You can look up pilots. So Jay, like, what's your username or what is your name in here? And I can look you up and send you a friend request. Put that in the chat and I'll shoot you a friend request real quick. Also, because I just want to try that out. We've got leaderboards. You got current flight map, which is pretty neat. You can obviously find folks, click on them and look at details of not just the flight but also them. This person's name is not on here. They have it hidden. They're a junior first officer, who they're flying for, and then your flight details. That's kind of cool. So now, let's get into the nitty-gritty. Job market. We'll say all of these got rejected, because it's likely that they will get rejected. My first 5 were rejected. They didn't like me. So, we're going to go with Skymark Airlines. We're going to sign this. There's 3 different types of contracts you can go for. Worry-free is you don't have any targets to meet. You are free to fly as much as you want. Then there's number of hours target. You have a target of at least 5 hours a week. If you complete the target, you'll receive plus 10% bonus on your salary. And if you do not meet your target, you are subject to a penalty of negative 10% on your salary. If you have no registered hours in one calendaristic month, your contract will be ended. Number of flights target for 10 flights. If you meet that, you'll get a plus 25% bonus of your salary, and if you don't, it's negative 25% bonus of your salary. I'm going to go for worry-free. Accept and sign. And now we are officially hired by Skymark Airlines. So now here is the actual contract. And it's actually worth reading because it will affect you in some ways. Duties, don't really care. We're flying full-time employment period. The agreement will become effective as of da-da-da. Okay, whatever. There's another better part that describes what I want to get to with that. Pay, we're going to make $26.76 an hour. That's a flight hour. We'll get paid weekly, and I believe it's every Monday that you get paid, like a literal, real-life Monday. Out-of-pocket expenses, I guess they just do this for realism, but some airlines, I guess you don't have to pay for your travel and food and lodging and all that stuff, but we do because we're peasants right now. But the other big part, where did it go? This is pretty important. Non-compete. So we cannot compete, therefore we cannot apply for other jobs for 7 days. A real life week. Kind of sucks. Whatever. That's what we accept. And then we've signed the contract. Cool. So now we can go to schedule. And we're going to generate a schedule. It's got all of our aircraft licenses over here. I'm going to select short haul round trips from hubs. That's because that's probably all they do. I don't want none of them. These guys fly in the States, which is why I chose this daggum airline. Alright, let's try this now. I don't want hub. Alright, we'll generate. Dadgummit, all of this is in frickin' Japan. I didn't want to fly in Japan. I chose this because it's in the States. Irritated. Anyways, I guess we're going to go start our flying over in Kobe Airport in Kobe, Japan, and fly to Sendai. We're not flying on, oh, regenerate. How many times can I regenerate this? Because I don't want none of this. What if I tell it to just give me Airbuses? Maybe that'll force it. Because I think all of their 737s are in Japan, and other smaller aircraft are in... nope. I would probably need an ERJ license to fly in the States. Alright, whatever. We're going to give it a shot. I know nothing about Japanese airspace, but we're going to accept it. So here's our flight schedule. So we're going to have to set our aircraft at Kobe and get the flight planned and started. But what's pretty cool is this thing links up to SimBrief, and it will auto-populate a lot of the details in SimBrief so that you don't have to do it yourself. So we're going to go to RJBE. I know which of these are gates because you can't see nothing. I'm going to start that up. I'm going to accept the schedule. Alright, so our first flight is going to be Skymarks 141. And we're going to get some sunlight going. Alright, so now we are connected to the sim, all the good stuff. You do have to connect through FSU IPC 7. We got our details of our flight up here. Flying a 737, it says 800, but we're really flying a 73. Departure arrival airport, and all of our progress and all this kind of stuff. So the first thing I want to do, come down to SimBrief dispatch, and it has filled in the call sign and departure arrival airport. We're going to change this to a 737-700. That weather looks pretty terrible, so we're going to leave that in. CI, let's go with let's just do 99. Gonna leave those runways because I don't know how to look up in Addons over there. Fuel, let's go with 10 minutes. And because I have no idea what the hell I'm flying into, going 20 minutes, total of 30. I'm gonna get a zero fuel weight of, let's call it 104. Generate, see what kind of altitude and time, en route time it's given, and we'll make our decision on altitude based off of that. Start over again. Shoot. Probably wouldn't help. No, I'll still end up flying somewhere I don't want to be. Alright, so our flight time is 1 hour and 5 minutes, cruising altitude 36. That's a little bit high for that length of flight. So let's make it flight level 340. Man, we'll do 32. Give ourselves a little bit longer in cruise. Generate YAS. Cool, so we got our SimBrief. I'm going to move this up here. And this we don't really need to see as of right now. We're going to change this to 32 so that it knows what our cruise is. Just going to refresh and then move this out the way. And we'll come back to that once we get airborne. Alright, so finally we are about ready to get in the airplane and get going and do the stuff that we actually know. Just getting Valana started real quick. That's up and going. Charts. Flight. New flight. Negative. Our SID is KCE5. No, there's only one to choose from. From here, we want this approach. It's got us landing on runway 32. Thank God, because that's the only one that's got an instrument approach, and the ceilings and viz don't look the best. Cool, that's set up. Move that back up out the way. And we'll get that going on here as well. Since I've already selected the charts on the desktop, it's going to automatically put everything I've selected. Boom, there we go. So that's up and ready. Not flying on VATSIM. Definitely wouldn't be flying on VATSIM in Japan, because I ain't brave enough for that. You can change the aircraft in the top right corner. Oh, do not know. Oh, I see. Okay, change aircraft. Aha! Look at you. You know more about this than I do. All right. So I guess let's get the aircraft loaded, and we'll do it the somewhat realistic way. I also want to see if some texture stuff worked that I installed. So let's go FS Actions, ground services. We got our ground and air hooked up. Don't need any of them except for the fuel truck. Our fuel is going to be a total of 15.2. Put that in the target. We'll call it the fuel truck. Let's see. I mean, are we at a jetway? I would say no. So we're going to go into a remote stairs type of config. We'll just get that. Passengers, I don't even know how many damn passengers I got. We're going to say 100. If I need to create the 0 fuel weight the quick way, we can. Call up the passenger bus. Get that setting up. Call these dudes. And I'm going to say 1,000 each. So we got our fuel truck hooked up. Looks like that texturing worked. I don't think really anybody likes the Pmdg textures, right? So found on FlightSim.2 there are some somebody made some replacement textures for a lot of this stuff. It's like the stairs don't show it. Don't show Pmdg. None of that does. The bus obviously still does in a major kind of way. The carts aren't showing it no more. Alright, so we'll start the fueling. We'll start boarding. And just wait on those baggage carts to come on. You can see that our fuel is increasing. Alright, so we'll do our preliminary overhead. Battery, ground power is on. Emergency lights, seatbelt signs are off. Window heat. Boom, boom, boom. Put those packs on so we have the air cart hooked up. Guess you can't hear the air. Figured you would. Anyways, we're cruising at 32,000 feet. Landing altitude, we'll get to that later. Those lights are set. Now let's come up here. IRS is to align. And unlock. I'll also forewarn that for whatever reason, I get takeoff config message when I go into takeoff power, and I can't figure out why. So y'all watch. If y'all see something that I'm missing, let me know, but I'm pretty sure I configured the aircraft correctly. Alright, so let's init. We are in RJBE, I guess. Yeah. RJBE. That's obviously the wrong button. My brain's been firing for too long, guys, so bear with me. I hate this. I hate you guys type it in twice. RJBE. RJFU. We are Sky 141. Departing off of a runway, but I can't remember which one it is. 9. Man, I have a 49-inch ultra-wide monitor plus a 32-inch 4K, and I still don't have enough screen real estate for all this stuff. Alright, next. Let's go to departures. Pick that one. Runway 9. Transition's gonna be Mako. If all this works the same as everywhere else. Okay, apparently not, because it's not on there. Oh my god. The hell is this? These guys need to get their life in order. Or SimBrief needs to get its life in order. It's not even a it flies to the second point of the SID. That makes no sense. So just to show y'all guys what I'm looking at. This is the SID. It's the KC5 Mako transition. Well, Mako is right here. It's not even like a transition which is on the outside of the SID. So that's dumb. That's more of a SimBrief thing. And I guess this is why nobody's really streamed this software, because it's very restrictive in where you can fly and all that stuff until you get some flight time. Let's do miter. Go to legs, and we're gonna delete everything up until the fix that we need. Just to be on with the SimBrief. Alright, so there's Mako. Cool. From there, I'm going to Mako to Windy. Shit. Three, 4, 3, 2. So it's this first one. Cheyenne. I'm not excited that I'm going to have to fly in Japan to get the flight time I need to get a US carrier. Souja, S-O-U-J-A. And then we're going to go on the Airway Yankee 281 to Ukeli, U-K-E-L-I. Then Yankee 204 to Oki, O-H-G-I-E. And then Fubuki. So we don't even have a star. Too many letters. F-U-B. Oh no. Okay, so confusing. Arrival. Okay. There. That is a star. Apparently they don't put a number at the end. And then do we want Zulu or Yankee? We go Yankee, I guess. Nope, we're gonna go Zulu. Looks cleaner. Sweet. Alright, so the round is set up. We'll activate that. Climb going up to 32,000 feet. On performance, we're going to hold off. Everything is loaded up. So, well, oh yeah, sounds good. It's got 1,000 in it already. Previous. We'll release that. Release. And we'll release the fuel truck. Alright, so now our zero fuel weight. Oh, look at that. That was close. On a 104. We're 800 pounds over. No big deal. Reserve fuel is 3,000. We are going based off of US rules. Flying CI-99. Cruise wind. At top of climb 262 at 60. And the temperature is minus 39. Execute. N1 limit. This runway is 8,200 feet long. We're moderately heavy. So let's go 58 on the flex. Climb 1, that's what I wanted. Cool. We'll go flaps 15. This is for V speeds. Throw our CG in there. And our V2 plus 10 is going to be 130. So now this is the nifty little thing that I like. With the honeycomb. If I wouldn't hit the camera. So indicated airspeed, we can change that on here. So I'm going to go up to 130. On the SID, the Cubby 5, see if it gives us any. You got all these transitions, and we're not going to any of those. So let's do 8,000. So we can also adjust that on here as well. And then you can also do heading if you want to. Runway heading is going to be runway 09, or it's going to be 92 degrees. That is set. Get those flight directors on. So I think that's going to be about it for the setup. We got all the doors closed. They're closed. They automatically close whenever the ground services pulls away. So let's get that APU on. And then our landing altitude is 15, so we're just going to leave it at 0. APU is rolling. Get that seatbelt sign on. Now you have to be very careful in what you do. You don't want to push with the seatbelt sign off. You'll get dinged for that. You'll get dinged for a lot of things. You gotta make sure you do everything right. Let's turn up screen brightness. If you hold down shift, they move a lot faster. For any of y'all who didn't know that. Alright, AP's online. Get it on the buses. We'll release those. We'll pull the legs up on this one. Alright, so we're just about ready to push. We'll just push straight back and turn out. I think it just automatically hooked up. What I'm curious about... Okay, all this stuff's moving away. These folks need to go on. They finally wanted to show up to work. Alright, so it doesn't look like we're going to have a tug hookup. So, we'll go ahead and get our fuel pumps on. We have no center tank fuel, so we'll leave center tank fuel pumps off. All this looks correct. It's good. Boom, boom, boom. And collision lights. Alrighty. Can you push us today? There we go. Alright, let's get them engines fired up. And soon, a pilot's life will detect that we're moving, and it'll go from pre-flight to like taxi phase of flight or whatever. Alright, turn the PEX off. Flying from the right side, so we'll go ignition right channel. Go to ground. We got rotation on the N2. Looking for 22%, and we'll introduce fuel. There it is. Set the parking brakes. Yeah, it was done. So my only two things I found so far with the Pmdg, the taxiing is like driving an F1 car, and the takeoffs like a freaking rocket. I feel like I hit V1 in seconds. Yeah, this thing is a rocket. The thrust weight ratio is definitely a little bit harder to keep a hold of. It's such a small plane with the same engines that are on the the 900. All right, so we got a good start on one. Let's roll, or on two. Let's roll number one. And all this that we're brightening, we're going to turn it right back down once we get above the clouds. Haven't been in a long time. Well, I don't know what language that is, but if I knew it, I would say it. But nonetheless, welcome. We're happy to have you over here at the Wrong Side Simulations channel. Thank you for coming along and coming to hang out with us. It's kind of an ugly angle on this airplane. I'm trying to think what issues I have. I've had some issues when I'm taxiing. Let's see, I like that angle. Issues I've had. It's almost like I have to trim the rudder trim while I'm taxiing, otherwise it'll veer. It won't taxi in a straight line, which is kind of weird. Okie doke. Let's go through before taxi flow. Which I just make up on the fly. And we can kill the APU. Coming down, let's arm auto brake RTO. Now y'all keep track of this, alright? Because it's going to give me a takeoff config warning, and I want y'all to see what I'm doing so y'all can correct me if I'm missing something. But auto brake RTO. We're going to go flaps 15 for takeoff. The aircraft trim is 4, and it looks like we're pretty much at that. There we go. There's 4. Arm the auto brakes, because you do that in a 7.3, I'm pretty sure. And that should be pretty much it. We'll get the transponder on. Squawking 2000. And I don't think there will be anything else to do, right? Y'all let me know if I missed something, but I'm pretty sure that's just about it. So we've got our V2 of 130, takeoff on a 092 degree heading up to 8,000 feet. Flight directors are on. We'll go ahead and arm the auto throttle. And we'll start our taxi. And let's get a little wiper action going. Man, this weather sucks. Alright, so now SimBrief pilot, or whatever it's called, SimBrief, not SimBrief, pilot's life. See, it's already doing it. It's wanting, I'm not moving it to the right, yet it's wanting to turn to the right. Obviously I'm doing it right now to follow the taxiway. But it's like I have to trim the rudder to get it to work right. So see, it's still going to the right, so I'm going to trim rudder to the left. And now it's like it's kind of straightened out, which is really weird. Not a fan of that. I've never had to do that in any other airplane. Alright, let's do a flight controls check. Full up, full down, neutral. Full left, full right, neutral. I'm not going to do the rudder because the rudder still controls way more than it's supposed to. Whoa, like what is that? Now it's like veering off to the left. I don't know, that's really odd. Alright, so I'll show y'all real quick. Pilot's life. It is tracking our taxi. Our stage is taxi out. You definitely want to be mindful of your taxi speed. Because if you exceed 30 knots ground speed, it will ding you. It'll count that against you. So this route looks really wonky. So we're going to depart on a heading, and then we'll figure out the routing after. I'm going to go terrain on because I have no idea what the terrain's like out here. Man, this airplane ain't turning worth a damn. Must be the wet ground. Alright, let's get those lights on. And fix. Alright, looks like we got a crosswind coming in from the left side, so we're going to have to fight that down the runway. Let's get those wipers turned off. Now let's do, which one's heading? Heading select. 092 is selected, which is straight down the runway. We'll leave everything else as is. And we'll get the second one turned on. Alright guys, drop to 40%, let the engine stabilize. See, it's giving that TO config warning, not really sure why. Low rotation. Gear up. And we're going to make a quick left turn because that terrain doesn't look very nice out in front of us. Let's go LNAV, VNAV. Keep that airplane flying. Don't want to exceed 20 degrees of pitch on takeoff, otherwise it'll ding you. Go flaps up. Autopilot. And disarm the spoilers. And maybe you don't arm the spoilers on the 7.3, I don't know. Did you arm your spoilers when you took off last night, Jay? We are airborne. Alright, we'll keep it going up. Not what I wanted. We'll take it up to our final of 32,000 feet. Honestly, it's just faster to use a mouse. There we go. I'm going to go 275 on the heading just to keep it lined up with the direction that we're flying in. And you want to have your landing lights off before 10,000 feet. Otherwise, you guessed it, it'll ding you. Damn, look at that. That looks hella gnarly. I would not be flying into this in real life. But it's too late now. We can't miss it. Okay, maybe that's what I'm doing wrong. Maybe you don't arm the spoilers for takeoff in the 737. Alright, so we are accelerating. Looks like this SID was designed to miss all the terrain that we're bobbing and weaving around. Check our temperatures, make sure we're not getting into any icing. Well, it doesn't matter now because we're out of visible moisture. That's weird. Total air temperature, 24 degrees Celsius. It's like it's gotten warmer as we climbed. It was 19 when we took off. That's interesting. I will admit, I do think that the LNAV and VNAV needs to be a little more refined in the Pmdg. As you can tell, it's overshot its lateral path. And then also, we'll probably notice that when we're descending, I've had issues where it'll be descending, it's on glide path, and all of a sudden it's like it recalculates the glide path, and all of a sudden too high or too low. It's like it does it instantly. And while we're doing this, I meant to start this. Well, we're not going to, never mind. I was going to turn on AIG live traffic, but we're not going to see anything because I don't have any Japanese airlines installed. It's a good thing that, no, that's Honolulu. Looking around on Valana, seeing what's going on. Well, I guess we can sit back for a minute. We'll have to dial in our arrival information here pretty soon. Get our ILS stuff set up. And we'll sit back and relax for just a few minutes. Had to ignore the chat for the most part because trying to get through this pretty quick before Gotta leave in an hour to go get my hair cut. Man, this 7.3 is quite a good looking airplane. Now, we just need the Phoenix. When we get that Phoenix, there's a little bit of something for everybody. The Boeing fans and the Airbus fans. I mean, we got the, I guess we have the fly-by-wire, right? I think everybody's a little bit tired of that, ready for a break from it. This is pretty neat. Here on Valanza, so we just departed out. We're in this area of weather, and now that we're kind of out of this weather, we're out of it in the sim as well. Looks pretty clear out ahead. All right, let's go. Oh, that's probably going to ding me for that. Let's go standard. That's a check mark against me. So what's everybody up to today? Is everybody having a good Thursday? I've got to go get a haircut. Then I have to run by FedEx. Jay. Go drop a little something off that I'm going to send to Jay, Mr. EQ in the chat. And then I go by Walmart and return $167 worth of giant Tupperware containers. Because I want my money back. I ain't keeping them things. That is pretty. Also trying out that landing rate monitor application. Haven't used it yet, so we'll see if it works. I kept my settings. Yep. Asian boy John. Ayo, just upgraded to Sim Pilot Life Chapter 2 and currently flying with a man, I'm jealous. I actually tried to apply for that airline today and there's no jobs. It's all because of you. Love the new UI on this application. You know, I'm not familiar with the first one. I hadn't even heard of this until FS Elite put out a little article on Chapter 2. But yeah, I'm right there with you. I like it a lot. My absolute favorite part about it is all the analytics after you submit your flight, and it gives you your little checklist of everything that you scored on. Because, you know, everybody in the flight sim world, like, we judge everything, or we judge everybody based off their landing rate, right? But we actually now have, through this, you know, you have a lot more that you can be judged on than just a landing rate. And that's my favorite part about it. My least favorite part about it is you have to wait so damn long to either be, and to find out if you've been offered a job or rejected. I think they could accelerate that a little bit. I do like the realism that you have to wait, but at the same time, it's like, dude, I just want to go fly with this thing. So, like, let me find out if I got a job or not. Yeah, it's way better than the first one for sure. Cool. Well, I mean, I wish I knew what the first one was like so I could appreciate this even more than I do. But yeah, I did 2 flights yesterday for Aloha Air Cargo out in Hawaii, and thoroughly enjoyed the UI and was quite surprised everything, because I had no idea what it was going to score me on before I did the flights. I didn't read that far into the manual, and then I was getting really tired and I was ready to go to bed because I worked night shift as a flight dispatcher, and I did a little Southwest taxi across the ramp at 36 knots ground speed, and it didn't like that. So, true, I agree with you on the weighting. Yeah, and I feel like most people would probably feel that way, but I'm sure Simbits World or whatever they're called probably don't care and want to keep it realistic. The manual said too, like when you apply for a job, it lets you know like every 3 days, or like it reviews your application on Mondays. Dude, if I had to wait 7 days just to find out, I'd be pissed. It would not work for me. But I applied yesterday morning, and I came back this morning after work, and all 5 of the airlines that I applied for were rejected. But I reset my career after the Aloha flights, and I applied for some 5-star and 3-star airlines with 0 flight time. I wasn't surprised. I'm so ready for the 800 to come out. 800 looks even sexier than this thing. Tried to get Southwest, but got a Velo. Hey, that's how life goes sometimes, right? But you know, everything happens for a reason, I guess. So a Velo will probably lead you to Southwest. Actually, my boss from my last airline is a high-level manager at a Velo, which is kind of cool. I've seen their airplanes a couple times. Definitely in some chop. Things squiggling up and down quite a bit. When I see Skymark Airlines, I think of Skymark's airplane models, which are all those that are behind me. It's kind of an ugly livery. Whoever designed the livery, not the painter, I'm clear about that, I never talk shit about painters, but yeah, whoever designed this livery over in Japan needs to go to art school. Got any chemtrails yet? Nope. You know, a lot of people, including myself, want either third-party camera system or you know, the built-in cameras like the X-Plane where you have the ability to do flybys. But you know, yesterday, I figured out if you just take your drone camera a long way away and then take it out of chase, you'll get yourself a flyby. Bye. Have a great time. Almost to our top of climb. About 3,000 feet to go. thus far on the UI. Here's how we're looking. Departed out of Kobe. It would be, I would like it if they could do it like Valana, where it's, you know, a bit smoother on the flight path. You get a better, accurate look at the flight path versus connecting the dots. I do think they could probably improve it there a little bit. I don't think most people probably care though. It's not a big deal. My overlay and this look about the same. That's cool. Clock time or flight time, 17.5 minutes. Current METAR in wherever the hell it is we're going in Japan. Winds at 340 at 6. Visibility is quad 9s. Few at 1,000, broken 10,000. And then temperature 21, dew point 20. Altimeter is 10,008. Man, I made that font tiny. $1,000 to go. Alright, man, sounds good. I appreciate you coming to hang out with us for a few. Hope to see you in another Wrong Side Simulations live stream, chat, whatever, in the near future. Have a good day, buddy. So before we get this Valana turned on, get settled in, let's get our arrival stuff programmed so we don't have to deal with that later. Whoa. Hey, it's your boy John. Hey man, thank you so much for subscribing. I appreciate it very, very much. It means a lot to me. Happy that I was able to earn your subscription. And we'll see you soon, dude. If you ever want to contact me directly or anything, I got the Discord in the description, and a lot of us chat in there quite a bit. It's not as busy and chaotic as some of the other big streamers' Discords, which I like. So if you ever want to give me a shout, man, you can hit me up in there. If there's any flight requests or whatever the hell, hit me up in the Discord, dude. Alright, so for the arrival, taking the Zulu. Alright, so the frequency is 110.9. Alright, that's set. Final approach course is 325. And then minimums is going to be 200-foot ceilings. It looks like there's some terrain around though, so maybe we should go baro instead of radio. Yeah, we'll do that. Is 215. That said, I'm sure y'all can't see this, it's probably too small. 215 set. And then we'll brief up the approach as we get a little bit closer. 9,800 foot long runway, so that'd be cool. Alright. don't know what size should make this. Should we make it look sexy? Do it like that, where you can't see a damn thing. There you go. We'll make it bigger. Put it up there. Probably check our waypoints as well. This is a slightly sophisticated arrival, it looks like. Just kind of tap through them, make sure everything looks, yeah, it looks fine. Cool. So Jay, man, how's work going today? Hopefully it's not too hectic for you. Last night was pretty nice in the OCC. Nice and quiet. And Jay, I just sent you a friend request on here on the Simbit World of Pilots Life Chapter 2. That's such a long title. I cannot wait to start anew. Not too much longer, man. Not too much longer. In fact, when it comes to that realm of things, I've got some news to let you know. Well, it's not really news at this point. It's a possibility of something pretty cool that may or may not happen. I'm not getting my hopes up. It's kind of too good to be true kind of a thing, but yeah, I'll text it to you now. So before we get into that, my girlfriend, I don't know if you heard, but a passenger on a Grand Caravan, which is a single-engine turboprop, passenger went incoherent, whatever that means. So this passenger, who has no flight time, no flying experience whatsoever, although he knew what he was talking about in the cockpit for the most part, he knew what altitude he was at and some basic things like that. But anyways, this guy landed the airplane, and my girlfriend sent me this and said this would be you, which is a picture of the airplane after it landed on the runway in Palm Beach. I think that's just about every flight simmer's dream, right? Is that we have our shining moment that something happens and we've got to land the airplane. Well, I can tell you this much, from going from sims to flying a real airplane, the forces on the body make everything so much different. Even like in a full motion sim, I've done some level D simulators, and like feeling yourself move kind of throws off your equilibrium a little bit. But that stays between what I just sent you, Jay, stays between us. Alright, where are we at? We still got about 60 miles to go until top of descent. And we're going to actually shorten it up a tad. I'm going to go direct DGC, Delta Golf Charlie. And I think we're going to slow her down just a little bit. I don't want to overspeed with this little bit of turbulence that we got. So let's go in nits, position. Oh, where you at? Index. Perfect. Alright, let's go CI 50. Slow her down a bit. So you can see we're really close to that red line, that overspeed, and with every bump we hit, we get a little too close to it, and if we overspeed, I'm sure pilot's life is going to ding me for that. So now, 40 miles from top of descent, making our way downtown, walking fast, faces past, and we're some sort of Japan bound. Let's go fix. We're going to, what was the airport code again? RJFU. I like to be fully configured by 7 miles. Once I get better at this airplane, we'll start narrowing it down to about 5 mile finals. Anyways, before I was so rudely interrupted by my rental company wanting to send a technician to come out here and fix my dishwasher. So Jim says, sorry guys, I had to shoot off a voice message. Just reviewing Pilot's Life, looks pretty awesome. Dude, it's totally awesome. Like you said, once you get settled in, you'll definitely have to get it, because obviously you have to be able to like fly full flights, and I know here in the recent past you haven't been able to devote a lot of time to flight sim. But once you get settled in, yeah, you definitely have to get it. Phoenix hopefully comes out soon. They should be making an announcement sometime in the near future about whether or not this recent patch broke anything in the airplane or not. That'll be the first big indication of where where the release is going to be at. All right, let's go standard, get it back out, and oh, I don't even have an arrival METAR no more. It was 10:08 on the last one. There we go. So we're right on glide path, which is always a good thing. And I'm going to slow her up just a little bit. Being that I'm in a foreign country and don't know how a lot of this airspace works. Try to make it as easy on myself as possible. Plus I want a really good rating on my performance with a pilot's life. So let's see, descent. And let's go 270 for now. Execute that. And we'll throw out the boards. Get slowed down. Computer's in a box getting ready to move. Heck yeah, man. I might have to work for Ryan on Saturday night so that he can move Sunday morning up here to Orlando. Don't really want to, obviously. Who wants to work on a Saturday night? But pretty much his only hope if he can't swap with somebody in Lauderdale. And I know him and his family need to get moved, so I will do it for him. Oh shit! The man, the myth, the legend, EQ with the 10 smackaroos. Man, I appreciate you so much. That is so nice of you. Don't have to do that. Never feel like you have to do that, but you are greatly, greatly, greatly appreciated, sir. So much. Oh, I don't know how I did that. Yeah, it's so nice of you. So what I don't know though, let's see, where's this pictures? On below 10,000 feet. So your landing lights cannot be on above 10,000 feet ever whatsoever, otherwise it's going to ding you. So make sure we get down below 10,000 before I turn them things on. Alright, so let's brief up the approach real quick like. Planning on the ILS runway, ILS Zulu to runway 32. Approach frequency is 110.9. Final approach course is 325. Our final approach, or our decision altitude, is 215 feet from sea level. Touchdown zone elevation is 15 feet. If we go miss, we'll climb to 500 on a 325 heading, and we'll just box ourselves back around and avoid any terrain. 30-degree glide slope, approach lights, PAPI on the left, and we need 200-foot ceilings to shoot this approach with 550 meters, I guess, yeah. Don't know what the weather is because it's not updating on Pilot's Life. Guess I can go into aviationweather.gov. So 1008 is the altimeter, which is current. Winds at 360 or 340 at 6. Quad 9 on the Viz. View at 1,000. Broken 10,000. 21/20. Cool. Now we have roughly 9,800 feet of usable runway. When we land, it's going to be a right turnoff. Probably be turning off at Tango 5. Go auto brake 2. And that should complete our approach brief. I don't really know what else there is. It's 20 degrees Celsius. We are not in icy conditions. We'll leave the anti-ice off. Man, Jay, you made my day. When the day comes that you start flight sim streaming, when you're all dispatch Billy Badass, and you're streaming Embraer 175s, I'll throw a few shackles your way. But yeah, I don't know if you were listening earlier or not, but I will be going to FedEx after my haircut to ship you your present. Also, I'm including this in there. Actually, whenever I find it, I don't know what to do with it. Oh yeah, this thing is stuck over here. Alright, so Jay, this is a little keyboard holder that I made. On the top of the Honeycomb Yoke, there's 5 screws. You'll undo those screws, pull the little square part off on top, and those screws will go down in here, so you'll sit it on top, drill them back in, and you can sit your keyboard on top. That way, you know, it's not moving around and whatever. So this is coming with it because I made it for that. That way you'll have a nice stable keyboard. Kind of made one too for this Boeing. You can kind of see it's sitting down there. And I'm gonna get this back where I want it. That'll work. Alrighty, let's get slowed down. Let's go 190. Oh, it's got a constraint. We're about to be turning final. That's pretty. Alright, let's go flaps 2. Get that second camera on. So what I like to do, I like to set my throttles around 50-ish%, so they're around about where I need them to be when I disconnect the auto throttle. And you can turn on in the FMS settings where you can see the throttle lever position. It's that little blue. It's very helpful. Alright, let's arm the approach. Localizer's captured. So we'll go autopilot 1 and 2. 325 heading. There's the go missed. And we're going to hang out here around 2,700 feet until we capture the glide slope. Keep those spoilers coming down. Flaps. Rather. Yeah, man, you are welcome. Alright, we got eyes on the field. Glide slope's captured. Here comes 7 miles. Let's go gear down, arm spoilers. Flaps 15. And we got 3 green, also indicated here on the Honeycomb Bravo. And our VREF is now going to be 125 plus 5. Let's see, which one is speed? Can't see it because I'm on the wrong side of the airplane. So I'll go 130 for VREF plus 2. Alrighty. I don't know what the landing checklist is, but landing checklist: gear down 3 green, flaps 30 green lights, auto brake 2, spoilers are armed. Landing checklist is complete, I guess. I don't know. I'm not a 737 guy. I know more about the Airbus, as all of y'all are very familiar with. Right at the right time. Attaboy. Now, because we're flying on a pilot's life, I'm trying to get this light perfect. I'm going to let it come down to about 1,000 feet, and then I'll take over myself. Get one last look here on the pilot's life. You can see our route where we're currently flying. There's our airport right there, a little island. We are in the flight stage of approach. Now what I gotta do is put it on the ground nice and smooth, because the landing rate does affect your extra points as well as G-force and all this other stuff. Pitch, roll, all of it. Alright. My airplane. Very small corrections. Wind seemed to be calm.
Approaching minimums. 200. Minimums.
Continue.
100. Light slope. 20. 10.
Oh, overflare. Now it's going to sit down hard. Bounced it. Really trying to keep it nice and soft for this stupid pilot's life thing. My reversers are green. I don't know if spoilers are out or not. I'm too scared to look. Spoilers Did deploy. Try to make this turn. And we made it. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to somewhere in Japan. I have no idea where the hell we're at. I would imagine the seafood is probably pretty good here. Alright, so we'll clean her up. Alright, let's get that APU going. Flight directors come off. And then coming down here, let's go to a nice little wing view. And I don't know why it does that. I always get this master caution. Like that's, and it literally lights up for everything, not just like pneumatic. I would understand since we just turned the APU on, but it lights everything up. It's kind of weird. And see now again, it's drifting to the left, so I'm going to trim the rudder to the right, and then it straightens out. It stops drifting. It's super weird. And of course, Boeing's not like Airbus, where you just have a rudder reset. A rudder trim reset button, you just push it, zeroes out. Like you gotta manually do it. But I've never had to do that in any 7.3 before. But I think it's just because the rudders are connected to like nose wheel steering, and it's not really nose wheel steering. But the best part of this whole pilot's life is once we submit the flight, see what it scored us on. Holy shit, it's almost, I gotta leave very fast. Park right here, whatever the hell this is. Supposed to be leaving in like the next 5-10 minutes. That landing rate monitor thing didn't work. I just recognized that. Alright, we'll park it right here. Set the parking brake. Let's get the APU on the bus. Kill the engines. And turn the inside collision light off. Seatbelt can come off. And then let's go get these folks off our airplane. Alright, now see what this says. So we got a post flight. It recognizes that we're on the ground and all that good stuff. See our little route. It's cool. We will submit this flight. Yes. And then it's going to automatically start for the next leg, which we're not going to fly. so let's go back to the dashboard. And let's see, where do we go again to look at that? Alright, so here's our logbook. Quick details. And this should tell us everything. Whoa, we got some fails on here. Damn it. Alright, so can't really make this much bigger. But we got 35 different items that it scores us on. Our max pitch angle on takeoff, bank angle on takeoff, max G-force on takeoff, overspeed stall. On taxi out, we taxi with our taxi light on, our beacon light on, nav lights, have our transponder on, flap set, max ground speed. I failed at. Apparently I exceeded 30 knots. Kind of thought I might have, because I remember when I was taxiing out, I went into idle, I let it taxi for a minute, and I looked down and I was at like 27 knots, and I was like, ooh, yeah, I probably exceeded. On takeoff, you want your landing light on, your strobe lights on, max pitch angle of less than 20 degrees, which we complied with all of that. In the climb, this is horse shit. This is absolute horse shit. So, you want your flaps up, obviously, in the climb. Landing light off before 10,000 feet. I turned it off at 9,000 feet. So that's bullshit. Cruise, you don't pause the sim, you don't slew the airplane on the initial approach. Your max pitch angle is less than 15 degrees. Max indicated airspeed is less than 280 knots, and landing light on below 10,000 feet, which we did. It recognized that time, but what the hell? Off before 10,000. We were off before 10,000. In fact, I'm gonna go back and rewatch this just to see if. But I made it a point to turn it off before 10,000. Let's see, approach. Your max pitch angle needs to be less than 15 degrees. Flaps need to be deployed. Landing gear needs to be down. Obviously, spoilers armed. Max indicated airspeed is less than 200 knots. On landing, you want a good landing rate? Good landing G-force. I don't even know what that landing rate says it's supposed to be. Wow. I don't know. Up here it says -8 feet per minute, which call bullshit. On Volanta, it says -75.89, so -76 feet per minute on that landing. I'll take it. Although I floated like a son to do it. Taxi in, you want your landing lights off, which we did. Nav lights on, beacon light on, taxi light off. Why would you turn your taxi light off while you're taxiing? I'm gonna have to like find a way to submit something to these folks, because that's horseshit. Flaps up, spoilers retracted, and max ground speed less than 30 knots. So that's the 35 things that you get scored on every single flight. I love that because it's way more in depth than just like somebody's landing rate. Landing rates are cool, but this is cooler. So we have our first flight report done. Does it tell me how many? Okay, it does. It does up here. So I got a score of 95. That's an A for everybody who went to school. I was not an A student, so I'm happy about that. And our extra points is 76. You don't rank up to a first officer until 2,000 points, so we're not even like 1/20th of the way there. But all the more reason to keep flying. So that's pretty much it on the pilot's life. Obviously, you keep building your flight time, and then you go pick up jobs that you want, make monies, and buy aircraft licenses and fly airplanes that you want to fly, and try not to screw up. But seriously, I'm quite pissed off about some of this. I don't know how FSU IPC detects a lot of this shit, but I'm gonna somehow get in touch or write a review or something and complain about the landing light off before 10,000 feet. Like that we absolutely complied with. And then the taxi light. Like, why would you not have your taxi light on while you're taxiing? Like, that's the whole point of it, is it helps you see while you're taxiing and lets other people know you're moving. bro, triggered right now. But anyways, alright guys, well, I appreciate everybody that came along today and listened to my small, oh, what is that? I guess oh, maybe that's what it is, because I like parked all the way in with those lights still on. Okay, maybe that's what it was, and if so, I'll give it another shot. I'll do a couple more flights and see how that goes. But anyways, guys, I gotta get heading out of here and go get my hair cut. But thank y'all so much for coming to hang out with me today. Hillbilly Gypsy, I've had the drift problem on the taxiways with the MCO Premium from Asobo. I've had it at like 4 airports now, 4 or 5. I think it's the rudder trim. See, it's even slightly off right now. It's just a tad off from center. But I've noticed that while I'm taxiing, if I trim the rudder, then it'll taxi in a straight line. Who knows? Oh, in the fly-by-wire. That's different. Do you use rudder pedals or do you use tiller when you taxi that airplane? Nice landing. Been slamming that bird. It's not even a joke. Yeah, it's not the easiest airplane to land. Those wheels don't even turn in the direction you tell them to if you look at the external view. I'll have to do that next time. Alright guys, well, I'm going to go try to knock out my errands as fast as I can. I should be done with my haircut around 2:15. A few more errands. I don't know. Maybe I'll be able to squeeze in another stream. We'll probably do the next leg of this and just keep it going and see how things progress through this whole deal. The cool thing though with a pilot's life, let's say, like, for example, you're a pilot for Southwest and you have your 737 license as well as your Airbus 320 license. You do not just have to fly the 737s, even though that's all they have. You can also fly your Airbus if you want to. It does allow you to do that. You can fly any aircraft as long as you have the license for that airplane. So we're not stuck in the 737. We can fly the Airbus if we like, and then once we build up some money, I can go buy my MD license, because that's the only other good airplane we got here for this. Hey, I guess the landing rate thing did work. It just didn't display it. I don't know how to make it display on there. But anyways, alright guys, I'm gonna shut up now. I gotta go. Hope everybody has a great day, and hopefully we can pop in another quick stream here in a few hours. If so, see you then. If not, then we'll probably see you Monday. That's probably the next chance that I got. Maybe tomorrow. Fuck, I don't know. Alright guys, love, peace, chicken grease, and we'll catch y'all on the next one.